Hello everyone, this is Ronnie, and before we get into this video, a little quick question for all of you. Would you like me to make shorter videos? Just let me know. Would you like me to make more researched videos? Would you like me to make presentation style videos where I'm showing slides and all that? What would you prefer? I, I, I don't know if some people want shorter videos or quicker, snappier videos. But anyway, the question today is about women and men. Should women and men have different diets? Do they require different diets? And the first thing I'm going to say about this is I don't know specifically what you need or what you do or what you want to do or whatever. Aubrey's just walked in. Um, but I'll just share with you my like the way that I think about it and see if it makes sense to you. This is how I've come to think about it. Um, and I'll also share what I see as being the case from the standard information that's out there. So the, basically, to start off with, a lot of people seem to like the idea that they've got an individual diet that is right for them and that is different to what everyone else eats. And I don't know where this comes from, but a lot of people like the idea that they have something that works for them and that someone else would have something different that would work for them. And and I always go back to the idea of the species specific diet, which is something that Doug Graham talks about, that we are a species and like all the other species of animal, that we would have a specific diet that all of the animals in that particular species would pretty much follow exactly the same if they're in the same area of the world and have access to the same food and so on. Now, there's been things like the blood type diet, there's been all sorts of diets that try and exploit this idea that people feel they want something different, that they have a specific diet that's right for them that's not right for another person, and so on. The blood type diet, a classic example of a diet book that kind of exploited that probably mistaken idea that people have. And something that Doug Graham's pointed out as well is that there's way more blood types in other animals, like cows have many more blood types than humans, but they all eat the same thing. Now, if we then apply that to humans, what is the biggest difference in humans? And the biggest difference, apart from different age ranges and size in terms of babies to adults and so on, the biggest difference between two adults would be gender, female or male, different body parts, different hormones, and different things going on. But we would still look to nature and we would see that for the animals like us, as far as I'm aware, the animals of the same species eat the same thing. It might be different for insects, different. Some animals like the males are much bigger than the females, or the females are much bigger than the males. But for us, we were quite similar. Um, and men are only a little bit different a little bit bigger than women in general. In that circumstance, animals tend to be eating the same thing. Female dolphins, male dolphins, female cows, male cows, and on and on and on. It goes throughout all the mammals. So that's the way that I look at it. Now, the standard diet information doesn't suggest that men and women need anything particularly much different. They do suggest that the average amount of calories women need is less, and the average amount that men need is more. But that's just because of size and potentially, musculature stuff and the way the body's put together and things like that, but mostly to do with size and mass, requiring more calories to upkeep. So I don't really subscribe to the idea that there's a different diet that women need and that men need, and on a raw diet, women need to do this differently and men need to do this thing. I don't really accept that idea, but I'm happy for people to show me that's not the case. I just think that things are simpler than we want to believe them to be. I think things are a lot simpler. Do men and women eat this diet differently? I do think so, to a degree, yeah. not that I've got a lot of comments on that really, but do women like to go towards a higher fat diet? Maybe. But I wouldn't say so in general. Who's more likely to be, very strict? I don't think there's any difference there. I think women and men can be kind of strict on the diet, loose on the diet, whatever. So I'm not too interested in going down the road of where are all the differences between men and women. Should we have a different diet? I don't really see that as a reason to justify that. And sometimes it might be a justification for, I don't want to eat that amount of fruit, so I'm going to increase the fat in my diet. And I don't think that's a great, something you can experiment with. I don't think it's a better thing to do. It might not make you feel that much different, but I do think that the high carb diet is the way to go for any diet. So that's basically the way I look at it. As I said, standard diet information would suggest that there's not really any differences between men and women diet-wise apart from calories. That women should be concerned when they're pregnant about a few different things. They might want to supplement. There's supplementation recommendations from medical authorities for women in different stages of life and things like that, but not really that they're being told to eat a different diet. I've not seen that at all from any of the nutrition guidelines, nutrition textbooks I've read. Basically, it seems to lump men and women together as requiring the same basic diet, and that's a diet that's abundant in fresh fruits and vegetables, high in carbohydrate, low in saturated fat, low in salt, sugar and oil, and processed foods. That's the raw vegan diet, by the way, but a lot of people like to say that that's the standard diet information. The scientific information is pointing us towards a raw vegan diet. So, that's the way I think about it. I'd love to have your comments and questions down below. If you've got any information that would indicate something different, I'm glad to see that. And thank you for watching the video. Feel free to subscribe, share and like this video.